You wake up, and for a moment, everything feels calm. There's no noise, no rush, just you, breathing. But that calm doesn't last long. Something heavy sits in your chest again. You don't know why. Nothing is really wrong, but something feels missing. You have food. You have comfort. You have a roof over your head. And still, it's like something inside you is empty. You try to shake it off. You tell yourself it's normal, but deep down, you know it's not. You just don't feel happy, and you can't explain why. It's not because you failed. It's not because you don't have enough. It's because you forgot what happiness really is. You see, you built a life full of things, but not full of meaning. You do what you're supposed to do, but not what you truly want to do. You smile, but it feels forced. You move, but not with purpose. And after a while, that emptiness starts to grow. You feel tired, even when you rest. Lost, even when everything seems fine. It's not sadness, it's disconnection. You've lost touch with yourself. You've been living for goals, for results, for approval, and you forgot how to just live. You keep waiting for happiness to come later. When I make more money, when I meet the right person, when things finally get better. But that moment never comes, does it? Because happiness isn't something that arrives. It's something that grows. When you stop running and start being honest with yourself, you were born peaceful. You were born curious. You were born whole. But over time, the world taught you to forget that. You learned to hide your feelings, to pretend everything's okay, to smile when you're not fine, to keep moving even when your heart is tired. But the truth is, you don't need to do more. You need to feel more. You don't need a new life. You need to wake up in the one you already have. You forgot how to enjoy simple things. A quiet morning, the sound of the rain, the look of the sky at night. Those small things used to make you feel alive. Now they pass by unnoticed. That's not because life got worse. It's because your mind never stops moving. You're always chasing something, always reaching, always searching. But the more you chase happiness, the further it runs away. Because happiness doesn't live in more. It lives in enough. You keep saying you'll slow down someday. You'll rest someday. You'll be happy someday. But someday never comes. Because happiness only lives in today. You think peace means having no problems. But peace is learning to live even when things aren't perfect. It's the moment you stop trying to control everything and start trusting that life is not your enemy. You don't have to be perfect to be happy. You just have to be real, to feel, to listen, to stop pretending you're fine when you're not. Pain doesn't destroy happiness. Avoiding pain does. Because every time you run from what hurts, you also run from what could heal you. So sit with yourself, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's quiet, even if it hurts. That's how you come back home. To the part of you that still remembers what peace feels like. You don't have to add more to your life. You just have to remove what doesn't belong, the lies, the fear, the masks. When you stop pretending, you start breathing again. You start seeing again. You start living again. And that's when happiness returns. Not as excitement, but as calm. Because happiness was never gone. It was just buried under everything the world told you to be. You're not broken. You're just buried. And once you remember who you are underneath it all, you'll realize you were never missing anything. You were just missing yourself. And when you finally find yourself again, you'll start to notice how quiet life can be. And how beautiful that quiet actually is. You'll stop trying to fill every moment. You'll stop chasing the next thing. You'll start noticing the little ones. The sunlight on the wall, the way the wind moves through the trees, the sound of someone laughing nearby. You'll start to see life not as something you control, but something you experience. And slowly, that heavy feeling in your chest will start to fade. Not because life suddenly got easier, but because you did. You stopped fighting with yourself. You stopped believing you're behind. You stopped thinking you're missing something. You realized that peace isn't somewhere else. It's right here, waiting for you to notice it. You just had to slow down long enough to feel it. Because the truth is, you were never unhappy because of what you didn't have. You were unhappy because you forgot how to be present with what you already do. The world taught you to chase happiness. But real happiness doesn't need to be chased. It comes when you stop running. And maybe that's what growing up really means. Not becoming someone new, but remembering who you've been all along.